Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking you through our top 5 picks for Daytona Supercross.
All right, so if you are following Supercross this season, you know, or any season, you know that the two rounds that we care usually the most about are A1, Anaheim, and Daytona. So the Daytona Supercross is kind of like not only a race, but a world in itself. And it's one of those races where really amazing things can happen. Everything from, Eli Tomac, who has won this 7 times, to back in the day, a privateer won this event against all the factory racers. Like literally it's its own vortex. So we felt it necessary to not only do the A1 prediction video that we did, but we also felt called to do it for this round too, because you also probably are aware that most people say that the series doesn't even start until Daytona. So this is a huge race. We have our predictions here, and not only are we going to tell you what we think is going to kind of happen for Daytona, but I'm going to share how I think this is going to affect the rest of the year, what I think is actually going to happen, and if it lines up to what we said in A1. So I'm excited for this video. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited to share my picks with you. I think that what I originally thought back in A1 is shifting and changing. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, you go first. What do you have for top 5? Or for fifth?
Okay, so for 5th place, I have Chase Sexton. I know he is battling an injury. He's kind of been hurt. So I think he's still one of the fastest guys. So I put him in 5th place. What about you?
I have Roczen in 5th place. Roczen is interesting to me because we talk about all the time, like every time we put him in our top 5, he just doesn't do well. Something happens. But I think that he's smooth enough to, and it's his time, I think. Like he's still in this thing. So I put him in 5th because I think how smooth he is going to translate on the track. I think he's excited about Daytona as well from what I have been listening of him in his interviews. And I just don't think he's there in the top 4, but I have him in 5th.
Yeah, every time I put Roczen in my top 5, he does not deliver. So I'm trying something new this round, and I actually don't have him in my top 5. But 4th place, I've got Aaron Plessinger. I think he's someone to watch. I think that this is his year to do really well. I think he's been looking really good on the bike. So yeah, I put him in 4th.
I also have Aaron Plessinger in 4th place. So I was gonna put him higher up because this is what I mean about Daytona. I think Plessinger could either get 4th or he could win it. Like I really feel that way about almost everybody that I have in my top 5. I feel like they could get the place they get or they could win it. So that's pretty cool that we have this kind of a year. But he is a taller rider, and Daytona gets super whooped out and super rutted, very, very, very deep. And with his mindset this year, I think he is going to be a big player. So there's a good chance that he runs up front and fades back to 4th, but that's just what I kind of see happening. Or he could win it. I don't know, but I have him in 4th.
All right, in 3rd place, I have Jet Lawrence. And this is kind of a shift from my predictions from A1. I honestly thought it was going to be like the Jet Lawrence show the entire Supercross season, but it's looking like not. So I think he's definitely going to be top 3, so I put him in 3rd, but he's been having some challenges these last couple rounds, and I'm still rooting for him. I want him to do well, but it's kind of cool that, it's not like guaranteed that he's going to win every single round or that nobody's able to beat him. So it's kind of making it a little more interesting and a little more challenging to make these predictions. But yeah, I've got him in 3rd for this round.
So this is an uneventful experience, but I also have Jet in 3rd. So here's the thing that I kind of want to talk about, because with Jet, like you said, he can win it. Or he could crash and not even be in the top 5. But he's fast enough to win it, is my point here. He's fast enough to win it. If he doesn't win it, something usually goes wrong. So that's the important part. He has the speed to win it. The other ones are trying to find their pace. Jack can just win, but he hasn't been because I'm going to say, there's new thing, like it's new to him. It's different pressure. He's kind of been a little nervous, some rookie fever. But I know he could win the second he's feeling it. If something doesn't go wrong, Jack can win.
Yeah.
here's why I have him in third and not in first or second. And this is kind of like giving it away a little bit. But there's a stat I just saw with Cooper Webb, and it was like they both have 2 wins. So Jet and Cooper are the only ones I think that have double wins on the year. The amount of laps that Jet has led, it's like 72 or something. And don't quote me on that. But Cooper is like 5. And every other stat that they have is the same. So I feel like Cooper is just kind of getting his flow, whereas Jet is leading all of these laps and not winning. Like they're not translating to wins. So yeah, so I have Jet in third, and I think it's going to be interesting in the top 3. I think it can go either way, but when we get to the next 2, I have my reasons for why I put them where I put them.
Okay, in second place, I put Cooper Webb. For 2 reasons. One, because last year at Daytona, I think he did really well. And then just because of last week, I thought he looked really good. He looked super fast on his bike. So I think that he's going to get second this week.
Yeah, so similarly to like we just said in third, Webb is kind of coming on strong. I think he has that like old school belief in himself that he can win. I just like he kind of as a racer comes on at the end of races. I also think that when he's feeling it, he comes on at the end of the series. So I feel like because Jet has not won, just gone out and won all these rounds like he did in motocross, because he has not done that, the vets are waking up. They are kind of like there's blood in the water, and their confidence is coming on as Jet's confidence is being challenged. And I think it's going to make for a really interesting rest of the series, but I also think it's going to make for a really interesting Daytona, because Cooper is really good at Daytona, and he's super strong, and I don't know where Jet is going to kind of play into this, because the only thing that kind of like has me thinking is that Jet went 22-0 in motocross, and Daytona is a very motocross type experience, or at least it's more motocross than it is supercross in that way. It gets more gnarly. So like I don't know if like Jet shows up as the 22-0 Jet, or if he shows up as Supercross Jet who's challenged this year. So I could go either way, but the way I put him in there was that I have Cooper in second because he might be coming off of some confidence from last week.
All right, and then in first place, I have Eli Tomac, and to be honest, this is the first round that I have put Eli in first place so far. However, I think that he's starting to turn on and like come alive now, and just with his history at Daytona, I think that he has a good shot at taking the win on this one.
Yeah, I also have Tomac in first, and so similarly, we kind of like put an asterisk here and preface the fact we don't know anything. Like,
yeah,
but here's how much we don't know anything. Here's how much I don't know anything, and that Gina, who is only a few years into this Supercross experience, is kicking my butt in Rocky Mountain Fantasy Supercross. It's so bad. I'm dead last in my group. I'm like just dead. So don't listen to anything that I say. But I am happy that we have similar picks this week.
We do.
Because at least I have a shot at getting some fantasy points.
Yeah, this is the first week we've been this close. We each separately picked 4 out of the 5 in the same order.
Yeah.
Usually we are totally different.
And
so
that means I'm totally wrong. So don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. But it's fun to talk about this stuff because I love to talk about this stuff. So I also, and I didn't copy off your paper.
No.
I didn't. I did this on my own. I'm a grown man. I make my own choice. So I also have Eli in first because of everything that he said on the podium last week. I feel like he really believes that it's time. He's tired of being called the old man, and we saw a little bit of beast mode come out last week. And how do you deny Tomac at Daytona? He's won, I think, 7 times, and the only time he didn't win, I don't remember what happened with the year that Brayton won. I think 2018, but I just really think, like what we said in the beginning of the video, that the season starts at Daytona. He's not that far back, and he's coming in after a fired-up performance, getting second to Webb, and beating Jet. And I think it's on. I think Tomac is going to win the Daytona Supercross. That's what I think. And then also to project this forward, I dare say, and again, don't listen to me, but this is fun. If Tomac, I'm just saying it, if Tomac wins Daytona, I say he wins the championship.
That's a bold statement.
I'm going bold statement. I think there's no stopping him if he wins Daytona and beats Jet on a motocross type track. Hands down, like flat out, Jet doesn't mess up or fall. I think that he's going to inch forward, but I think that Eli wins. I don't think he stopped that confidence. He's got too much to prove. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, what we're referencing from before is our A1 prediction video that we did. We were projecting forward, and we decided, and we both made predictions on who we thought would win the entire series. So we had both said Jet Lawrence would win at the beginning of the season. So Pat's kind of changing his viewpoint on that. I'm not really sure. I mean, I think that Jet still definitely can win it. But I'm rooting for Tomac too. I'd love to see him win. I think that would be a great sort of comeback story from his injury. And, I'm always rooting for him. But yeah, so that's an interesting statement.
Maybe we'll link that video here so you can see how wrong I was. But I want you to watch the video and see the confidence I had, and then look at me now and know that I'm dead last in my group.
Yeah, and by the way, we're also referencing the fantasy group that we're in. So this is on rmfantasy.com. We actually have a group, Mahans Racing. So if you want to follow along with us and join our group and see how your picks stack up with ours, you can head to rmfantasymx.com and then join the group Mahans Racing.
And it's fun. And you're almost guaranteed to at least beat me. So there's something to be said for that. All right, on to the last thing we're going to talk about here is the wild card pick. Maybe the most important for RM Fantasy points, because I think you get
it's like 25
points for this, so it's huge. So
yeah.
If you focus on nothing but trying to get your wild card right, you can do really, really well for the week in points. So who is your wild card finisher?
So this week it's 10th place. That's the wild card finish slot. And I put Justin Barcia in there. Part of me thinks he could actually do a little better than 10th. But yeah, just given the couple of other people that I think have been looking really good, I went with Barcia kind of as like just a guess, honestly.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I do there.
Yeah. It's kind of, my pick's kind of similar. It's different, but I think that I picked Malcolm Stewart. And I also think that Malcolm Stewart, he could either be 10th, or I think he could easily be in like the top 5. Especially how he started in his heat race last week. He was just on it. And I'm like, that's Malcolm. He's back. And then he kind of, I really don't know what happened in the main, but I don't think he did that well. He got 9th in the main, but he was on fire in the heat race. So for me, it could go either way. But last week, Anderson got 10th. Stewart got 9th. And I just think that Anderson's probably going to beat Stewart this weekend, which has me put Malcolm, if all things were equal, in 10th. I want him to do better, but that's what I got. So those are our picks for the Daytona Supercross. Let us know what your picks are. Throw them in the comments. Join our group, and we'll play along together. What else you got?
Nothing. Just excited to watch and see how our picks, turn out. And again, if you want to join our group on RM Fantasy, it's Mahans Racing, to see if you can beat our score or see how your picks stack up with ours.
You're beating it. If you really want to feel good about yourself, join this group and get your picks in.
All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Today we're...
No. Too much.
What?
Way too much.
Really?
Hey, guys! Like, way too much.
All right, I'll dial it back.
Bring it in.
Right.
Intro. Blah.
Yeah, but why did you go...
It's my go-to.
No. Charlie. Hold on.
Try to move your butt.
Try your butt.